Hello again. This is Gilmer, and this is episode 8 of my Pacific War playthrough. This is a 1991/92 program, and it really is an awesome little game that you can you can get it for free at the Matrix Games forums. It's way down at the bottom. It'll say their legacy programs or something like that. I think you have to register for the forums as a member to be able to get those, but when you do, you can get these programs for free and play them. All you have to do is set it up with DOSBox and play to your heart's content. And honestly, the community that is actually playing these games, Pacific War, War in Russia, is pretty active, actually, to be honest. We had 15 to 20 people in those forums, asking questions all the time, posting their thoughts and things like that. So it's something to check out if you're kind of living on a budget and you want something for a little, you know, fun time that you don't want to pay a lot of money for. So check it out. Last time we played, I talked a little bit about my ships and where they're going and what they're doing, and also talked a little bit about where my reinforcements for my land units are going to appear. Most of them from the U.S. will appear here. Most of the British type will appear in these bases somewhere, or maybe this base. I'm not sure. And if the Australians get any reinforcements, they'll probably come in through Melbourne or Sydney. I can't remember which either on that as well. It actually looks like we might have already received some. Let's march these guys. I think those have been replacements that we received just recently. They're all still attached to the CMF, which I think means I will not be able to load them onto transports, which sucks, but I'm pretty sure that will change at some point, and then we will gladly place them right in Port Moresby. March. And activate, which actually I'm doing the opposite of activate them, but if you had watched the previous episodes, you know that if you got the little money sign or whatever it is beside it, it's inactive. If you click this and click activate, the money sign will disappear, and that means it's active. And so if it's active and you click activate, it deactivates. So it's basically whatever stance you're in, if you click activate, it does the opposite. So I still have those. I have a lot of troops here. Let's march these down. Hopefully the Japanese won't try to land troops on the western coast in Canada or wherever this is, Seattle. Hopefully they won't try to land troops in Seattle or Juneau or Anchorage. I have to believe that having Canadian divisions means that they will eventually detach from the 4th Army and attach to a combat unit that I can load it into transports. Haven't seen that yet, but I'm hoping that will happen fairly quickly. And I'm also hoping we will get amphibious landing, the LSTs, which are not exactly the same as the armored troop transports, which is the AP. The LSTs are what the U.S. actually used most of for amphibious landings. And if you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan or things like that, these are the type of ships they used to land on beaches, and they're like just almost basically buckets and with a motor on it, and when it gets to the beach, the end gate flops down and you jump out of it or run out of it or however you want to get out of it. And it was designed so that they would be able to use those on beaches, which in the case of the D-Day landings, they worked fine. It's just that the Germans were sitting up there with machine guns and shooting people as they were coming out of them. Not in every situation, obviously. I mean, obviously we won the war, so it obviously worked, but you kind of were a sitting duck when you were coming out of those troop transport or those LSTs. Even so, it was easier than trying to drive a boat up, or sail a boat up to the beach and then everybody jump over the side, or get into little dinghies or canoes or whatever they would use to before they had these types of ships. So that was a very long discussion about not much. So I am actually going to run a turn here because there's really not too much going on. I still have this aircraft carrier force moving to Cairns, and I still have this troop transport with the troops I got out of the Philippines, and they're going to Adelaide. And once we get into Adelaide and get replenished up and everything else, we will load that back on and bring them around here, and hopefully at some point put them right down in Port Moresby. That is the plan as of right now. I'm not saying that plan is going to work. I'm going to disband one of those cargo ship task forces and then just add them to the one, so that they're all in this, and then that these 4 destroyers can act as anti-submarine. And let's see, it is going to San Francisco, so port. Did I thought I had moved a surface combat to get some of these damaged ships out of the way. As a matter of fact, I'm almost positive. Wait a minute, there they are. Okay, let's remove that. So now they're in the port. They would probably repair very slowly, but I don't really want to use up. Hold on a second. Let me do this before I start talking about this. Let's see. I don't know if it'll tell me, but there is something on. I think I know what it is. Let's see. Pools. Okay. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Let's see. Industry. Shipyards. Ship construction points 299. Shipyards 40, 40, 145, 30, 21, 8, and 5. I think this is this tells you how quickly they would repair a ship in port. And as you can see, Pearl Harbor's 8. And I think that means that they'd use up a certain amount of points to repair the ships. And I think they'd use up these points, but I'm not positive. And I think once you run out of those points, you don't get any more, but I'm not positive about that. But I don't want to be using Pearl Harbor to be repairing a bunch of battleships that are going to be out of service for a really long time, and cruisers and whatever these are. I really don't know what those are. A.V. Curtis. I can't remember what those are. But anyway, I don't want to use up all my ship construction points on that. So let's see what else. Is there anything else? Okay. Let's remove that and then transfer port. Add that to that task force, and I tell you, I'm going to get this out of the way as well. I don't necessarily know that the Japanese will attack this port, but they have been known to, and I'm going to leave this infantry unit sitting there just in case. let's see, port, nope, get, nope, okay, no ships or anything are in Broome. And this is just to make sure that they don't get any free or cheap kills, cheap sinkings of ships, because that goes to the points. And let me show you the points score. The Allies have to get the score of twice as much as the Japanese. So the Japanese right now have 50,990. The Allies would have to get what? 100,000 1980 to 1981, really. They have to get twice as much plus one to win, I think, or it might be just twice as much, but whatever it is, that's what we have to do. And the Japanese actually gets multipliers as the war goes on, so you have to score even higher than what you were scoring. So just keep that in mind. Let's look at some of these others. Sunk. We've had 2 destroyers sunk, to 1 destroyer escort, 1 fleet oiler, 1 troop transport, 1 submarine. They've lost a submarine. They've lost a fleet oiler. They've lost one of those AV type units. I'm not really sure what those are. As I mentioned before, I've lost only 1 battleship, which, as if you're familiar with the attack on Pearl Harbor, I think we lost either 4 or 5 battleships. So I'm already to the ahead of the game, although I do have a lot of very damaged battleships. And then they've lost a carrier escort, which is supposed to be a pretty good little point maker if you sink them. So okay, 12 minutes in, and I haven't actually processed a turn, which I said I was going to do. So, and I saved the turn as well. So let's run a turn, see what we get. And they take that base, which sucks, but and they're just going to keep on bombarding my troops with their airplanes, which will decrease their readiness, decrease their capability of fighting, and eventually they'll attack us and we'll surrender or whatever. But not yet. Huh. Yeah, see, they're just going to keep on. And you see where it says defender losses and there's an asterisk? That means that they've lost some readiness. The more asterisks, the more readiness you lose. So if there were 2 stars out to the defender losses, it would be much more serious. But, you know, as you can see, some of them there is no asterisk at all because it didn't really do much. But, and there they go, some more Dutch East Indies taking, and we lost that base. They're bombarding Singapore. Now watch to the right where it says defender losses. It goes by really quick, but if you look for it, it had an asterisk by it each time it bombarded, and when it does it this time, it'll probably have it again. Real quick, right there. Oh, and it had 2 asterisks that time. So that was even more damaging. And the Japanese have a lot of planes at the beginning of the war. At the end of the war, not so much. And attacking the Japanese. And now it's just doing its last little return paths to get ready for the next turn. And this is the phase where if a task force doesn't have any more preparation points or whatever, and it decides that its mission is over, this is when it returns to its base, basically. And if you put the destination and the base as the same, then this is when they return to that base as well. It's getting close to taking it. So now it's February 1942. See, this game goes by a lot quicker than War in the East, or War in the Pacific, for that matter. Now it's my supply convoy, routine convoy system is going to run a little bit, and then it'll be the next turn. Damn. Shit. They got one. Damn it. Alright, I'm going to save it. Now let's see. Let's see something here. No. No. HQ to TF. New leader, air leader, reinforce, change base. HQ units. Okay. See, this is a way you can use to kind of track some of the things, and this is the Central Pacific land units. As you can see, we've got something at Palmyra, Christmas Island, Hawaii, Maui, Pearl Harbor, Kauai, Midway, Johnston Island, and then the 24th Infantry Division is on Task Force 84, which I don't know why it's still on Task Force 84, but oh, because it's this one. Yeah. Speed. I'm just going to change that. Well, maybe I won't go there. Maybe I'll go here. And hopefully that'll get them out of any kind of regular submarine patrol areas. And this is ready to go. Reaction range is 8. We're going to take all these off and put them. No, not night combat. I don't want that. I've never really used night combat on these. I don't really know. Whoops. Oops. Mission day combat. Mission F4F, chain. Whoa. Oh, wait. Mission. Come on. Day combat, mission. Day combat, mission. Day combat, mission. Damn it. It takes a little. You have to be a little patient with it. It's kind of an old interface. Now, doing that reminds me that I actually have two. I have an air combat unit or task force here, and that has the, forget, Saratoga, the Yorktown. And we'll get them over here. And that also reminds me, nope, the Indomitable is still over here, so I want to get him around here as well. And we'll put all 5 of them in a task force under Admiral Bill Halsey. And I did not receive any land units yet from there, and I don't think I received any here either. And they're all attached to the 4th Army. Let's try something. Okay, look at that. I've got some more APs. Nope, still can't do it. So let's just remove that. I don't want to deal with them. Let's put air groups. I think the air groups are growing again. F2F, F4F, and then we're just gonna, I wonder if I should just do it that way, and then it would return to San Francisco automatically. I think I will. Hopefully that will do the trick. Okay, they're in Adelaide. They are in Adelaide as well. Look at that. Get. Oh, port. No. Alright, let's load combat forces. Now we might have to split this up again. No, 117. We can put him there. Combat forces. The 8th Infantry Division. We'll put them in there. And then the 4th Marine Regiment. We'll put them in there. And then we'll load the rest of it up with supply. And hope he goes where I'm telling him to go, and he uses the straightest, right around here, and uses the straightest or the easiest or quickest way to go. If he doesn't, I'm going to be pretty upset. I won't say pissed off, but I'll just be upset. Man, it's taken them forever to get down here. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell? Oh, well. I think they're going a long way, too. Unless they're really worried about air attacks coming from here. I can't understand why they're doing that. I don't think this, unless they were to stay, end their turn right here in this area, I don't think an air attack from Rabaul would attack them, but it's possible. So maybe that's what it's trying to keep from happening. So let's see. No, port. No, airfield. No, not really. Wait a minute. Okay, never mind. W, no, W, 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 W. Okay, so they haven't moved from there yet. Let's see. They could go here. And I can do this. And hope that keeps them from coming in behind me. If they move into here and take this, then I'm going to move these troops in here back. As you can see, let's try to use SIGINT on this army. A week. You know, it's weak, but these are pretty weak as well. As you can see, they're all 3 infantry divisions, but their experience is very low. If it's below 50, I think, then there's a very good chance that they will, they'll miss some kind of die check, and then it'll be a disaster. You need to have at least one combat unit that is above 50 to get a decent attack off. And I think your experience raises by some coefficient, like 1 every 3 or 4 turns. It's not automatic every 3 or 4 turns. It's like a die roll, and a little bit of experience is added, and it could be 0.2 and then 0.4 and then 0.3 and then 0.4, and then experience goes up 1. So we can't really do anything there. So I really trying to think of anything else I can do before the next turn. Not really. Port, no. W. This Provost Regiment is not really that good. Experience 39. But the thing about that is, and I don't know if it's happened here, if you have a full division and its experience is 90, let's say, and then it's attacked and it loses a lot of its, power, a lot of infantry. Let's say they had 200 infantry and they lost 150. As they refill, the supply refills that infantry up to 200 again, this experience will go down because you're filling it up with raw recruits, right? So your overall experience would go down, and maybe that's what's happening here. It could have started out at 50 and it had a high experience, and then it lost half, and as it's filling up with raw recruits, its experience drops. That's also another reason why you want to win battles. I mean, obviously there are so many reasons. Who wants to lose a battle? But there you go. That's just one more thing that is affected by winning or losing a battle. And I really don't know. I'm gonna run one more turn just to see if I get new combat forces. Because at some point, the 1st Marine, the 2nd Marine, the 3rd Marine, all the way through the 6th, and maybe it might even go up to 8 at some point, very late in the war, but at least 6 Marine divisions are added to the game at some point for the USA, and they come in pretty experienced. They come in with an experience level of about 70. So they're good for island hopping. So let's run another turn and just see what happens. And that didn't work for them yet, but it's coming. Surabaya is attacked by airplanes. I don't expect them to last very long. I don't expect those guys to. Eventually they're going to get attacked more than likely, and the Japanese will throw them back into the base they came from. I hope this is recording. I'm not moving the mouse constantly, but it's supposed to be recording every time the frame changes, which means every time something happens on screen, it's supposed to be recording, which basically something's happening all the time, so it should be recording pretty much constantly or continuously, and I hope that's the case. Oh, oil industry took a little damage. They damaged one of my submarines. Tjilachap. I can't pronounce it. They're bombarding Singapore again. Bastards. And Singapore will eventually fall. And I'm pretty sure that's where General Yamashita was. And he was the one that affected the attack and surrender of Singapore. He was definitely active in the Singapore area and the peninsula, of which Singapore is at the very tip. And he was also active in the whole area of the Indochina, I guess is what they call it. See? Yep, we just lost we just lost ABDA, which I don't know what the ABDA stands for, but it's basically the Dutch. What much I could do there. I could have done that gamey thing where I changed a base to ABDA and then transferred the headquarters, but I didn't want to do that. I don't really think that's very sporting. I mean, really and truly, you really have to screw up to lose as the USA and the Allies. So I don't want to do too many gamey things to make it easier for me to win when I should pretty much crush them anyway. But that's why I didn't move ABDA out of there. Look at that. Get him. So let's see if we got any changes in our land units composition, and if some of them have been detached from their headquarters to a headquarters that I can use to actually start attacking bases. They're still holding out, just barely. Damn. There goes Singapore. Sheesh. They say General Bao committed suicide? Is that what I saw? Damn. Yep, they threw us back. That's not good. Look at that. Lost 1,222 squads. That was not a good turn for me. It was not unexpected, though. Christmas Island enlarged its airfields. And this is it said Japanese orders phase. This is where the Japanese are plotting. The AI is plotting its next moves against the USA. I don't like that. I see a task force right there by Rabaul. And then my routine convoy supply. Not very many. And that's that turn. And before I leave you, I want to just check and see. That looks basically the same. Fourth Army, Fourth Army, Fourth Army, Fourth Army, Fourth Army. Let's see. Same. What about port? Some more APs. What about airfield? I think we did add an air wing there. Let's check down here. W, CMF, CMF, CMF. There's a list or somewhere in the actual manual, I think, that tells you when these land combat units are available to be actually loaded onto troop transports. And actually, it also, there's a list somewhere that tells you when you receive reinforcements with like extra divisions, the 1st Marine, the 2nd Marine, the Americal Division, and all those divisions. It'll tell you when those will show up. But I don't have I'm sure the manual is somewhere, but I haven't looked at the manual. And maybe that's something I'll do before my next episode, because it doesn't look like shit. See? Damn. If they take that and go there, then I'm cut off. These guys are cut off. I wonder if I can move them. Yeah. Might as well. Although if they retreat, they might retreat the wrong way. Oops. And also the Japanese can move some guys in here. If they move them in here and take that, then I guess I'll move everybody all the way back to Calcutta. That's never happened before, but this is a different patch for this game, so the AI might be acting a little differently than it normally does. And if that's the case, then I might be in for a tougher little slog than I was hoping for. So, get. Okay. We have some ships going around. They're going to Brisbane, and the other one was going to Townsville. They're going to Brisbane / Sydney. Brisbane, Rockhampton, Sydney. There's still... I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because they're going too slow and they're going to be sitting freaking ducks. Same with them. I'm going to move them here and then set their base here, and hopefully they'll stay out of harm's way. Cairns, I don't like that either. And set base here, and we're going to move them around because they're going too slow too. And it's probably because they've got some damage. Damage is 39, so their speed is 8. I don't like that. And then that's the Yorktown, and that's the 24th Infantry Division. So that's it, folks. That's it for this episode. Not a lot going on, but a little bit. The Japanese, of course, that was a bad turn for me. But, oh, wait a minute. I don't want to do intern. All right, well, that will do it for this episode. I'm going to shut it off here. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.